sure you're not wearing anything that you don't want ruined. My earrings. Ta-da! And now that that's off, probably gonna want to take my necklace off. And I'm gonna need to change my shirt. Now that's taken care of, you can move on to your hair. Your hair was up, and now it's down. It's always better to dye your hair after it's been greasy for a couple of days. I didn't shower yesterday, so you just want to make sure those natural oils can protect your head. I got nervous I wasn't recording, so if the frame moved weird, that's why. So the first thing you want to do is take your bleach or your hair dye, whichever you're using. I'm using bleach just because that's what I have. And for this one, you can usually read the label. Mine is a 1-to-1 ratio. And you want to make sure whatever developer you're using, you use the same amount of developer as you did product. I'm using 40 volume developer because I like to suffer, I guess. I don't know. But for bleach, I usually recommend using something for sensitive scalp or 30 volume developer and below. I'm working on a budget here. But once you have that, this is the point where I would recommend you put your gloves on. After the developer and bleach touch each other, you're kind of getting some toxic chemicals going on here. You want to take your brush, use the pointy end, and just mix it up really well. Then a shot. If you're bleaching your hair, you have to start on the ends and go towards the roots. If you're dyeing your hair, you start at the roots and go toward the ends. And you never want to rub bleach into your head. That is how you chemically burn your scalp. Also, disclaimer, don't go into this unless you are willing to be bald. Are you willing to be bald? No? Go to a professional. I know I just said not to start at your roots, and this isn't a tutorial on how to do your hair. It's a tutorial on how I do my hair. So I kind of start at the roots. My mom's not here, but I mostly am trying to avoid getting it on my scalp. So you just take the end of the brush and use it once that layer is covered to push it back and on top of itself. You dip your brush in. And my camera ran out of memory, like right after I started bleaching my hair, so this is going to be a bit more of a speed round. I will be back in a minute. Okay, so I've cleaned up the edges, covered it in a bag to keep the heat in, which makes the process faster. It's already considerably lighter. And then you just kind of wait 15 minutes or so and wash it out. I will check back in once I have washed my hair out, and then I will check in one more time once the toner's gone through it. It's bad, guys. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. Hey, this is me a few minutes after realizing my hair looks absolutely awful. And I know I said you have to be willing to shave your head, and trust me, if this goes bad, I will shave my head. I'm almost there. I almost did it. But then I decided I'll just drive to the store and get some hair dye. Okay, so I just got out of the store and I got some color remover and also some hair dye. Light blue for if the color remover works, which I doubt it, and a nice dark purple for if the color remover does not work. Post hair color remover check-in. And I've decided to actually stop dyeing my hair. I think this was successful. I actually have always wanted to be a Draco Malfoy cosplayer. Obviously I'm kidding, but yes, this is my post hair color corrector check-in. I do think I got enough of the red out that I could go light blue right from the get-go, but just to be on the safe side, because I always choose to be on the safe side, I'm going to mix Tanzanite with my lighter blue color Azure. I don't end up with splotchy hair. This is again a 1-1 ratio hair dye to developer, but with 40 volume developer, probably better to just lowball it to be safe. Because the higher the volume on your developer, the more intense it's going to be on your hair. Not great when your hair's already been attacked like 4 times today. So we got a nice little golden and pink. The developer is going to start to activate the dye, about a 1-1 ratio. I always eyeball it, which probably isn't the best, but if I was the best, my hair wouldn't look like this right now. See how it's turning silvery? That's what we want to go for. Now that that's done, we want to put our gloves back on. And once our gloves are on, we can kind of just get back to work. As I apply it to my hair, now that it's been mixed with the developer, you can really easily see that this is going to be probably very dark at first, because I like to think that the first 2 or 3 days of hair dye isn't the color it's going to be. Usually by shower number 3, you've kind of hit a, this is the color that's going to be in your hair sort of wall. I want to make sure my hair is completely saturated. You don't want any little bits missed here. This is my favorite part. I just kind of goop it on my hands. Not recommended, but it is what it is at this point. My hair cannot get much worse. And once that's all taken care of, get a bag on that head and we let it sit It didn't fall out, so that's great. I trimmed it, and I also trimmed up the sides and the back. Didn't film that because it just took way longer than I thought it would. I mean, what doesn't take longer than I think it will? Yeah, that's how I do my hair. Make things up as I go. Yay! Getting red out of your hair to go to blue is pretty rough.